Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Pink Flamingo. I want to start off by thanking you guys for the viewings. That's been real awesome. Thank you guys for taking the time out for viewing my content and for all those who has participated in liking, leaving comments. But I want to also say hitting the like button helps me to kind of gauge what it is that you guys are interested in watching. So I'm able to put out content based on what it is that you guys like. And of course, the subscriber button definitely helps if you hit that. I I do want to kind of grow a subscriber count over here because in the future, one of my goals on this channel is to provide free readings to my subscribers. Maybe we can do that maybe once or twice a week where some of you guys can send in an email with some questions and we could probably just do a reading, right? And maybe some of the subscribers will be able to give you guys advice, leave comments, and we can kind of have our own little, tarot card reading party over here, a couple of nights a week. So hopefully that's something you guys are interested in. But thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the views so far. I really appreciate it. So let's get right back into this. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a reading on Chris Brown. Now, I decided to do a reading on Chris Brown because I noticed that Rihanna had just celebrated her 36th birthday and Valentine's Day had just passed. And she seemed to be very much so in love with ASAP and very happy. And I just feel like Chris Brown hasn't really evolved since his days of Rihanna. Now, I know he's had a few public relationships like Karushi. Um, I know he dated Drea, and I don't know if there's anyone else, but I can't think of anyone right now. Currently, I know he is in a relationship with his child's mother, Ammikah Harris, but it doesn't seem like there's been a proposal or anything of that nature as of yet. So I kind of wanted to tap into the cards and see what Spirit's going to tell us about Chris Brown, where he is today, how he's feeling. Has he evolved from Rihanna? I know I read an article not too long ago where he stated that he wants to move on from the incident that happened between him and Rihanna a few years back, but it doesn't seem like people are willing to let it go. And understandably, right? Because whatever happened to Rihanna was completely unacceptable. Although we know there is two sides to a story, but when a man pushes that particular envelope and went where he went, of course, it's expected that you are going to receive long-term backlash for that. But of course, Chris Brown seems like he's grown from it. And, you know, unfortunately, it's very hard for a lot of people to move on and become forgiving for something like that. But nonetheless, we're going to do a reading on Chris Brown and we're going to see where he is right now in his life, how he's feeling about life, how he feels about the woman he's with now, Ammikah Harris. I know they have a son together. So I'm just curious to see what it is that Spirit wants to tell us about Chris Brown. And I'm just going to get right into this reading, guys, okay? So I'm going to start off, guys, by pretty much just doing my own little slicing. So, but yeah, I'm just really interested in doing this reading on Chris because, it almost seems to me like Chris has this thing where it's very similar to like the Erykah Badu and Common situation, where it's like they had a child a while back, but no one has evolved. Like Common has not evolved. He's in relationships to me, but there's just been no fiancés, just nothing. And when I think back to Common, I think about pretty much just years of him kind of staying fixated on Erykah. And the last article I read on Common, someone had basically brought up the Erykah Badu situation and how he described her in such a loving yet lustful way. And I just don't feel like any of that energy has been transferred on to any other woman. So I'm kind of curious to see, guys, whether Chris Brown has actually moved on from Rihanna mentally. You know, I know Drake is obviously still hung up, and I might do a reading on him as to what it is that what's his obsession. But yeah, I'm really curious, guys. So I'm going to tap in these cards. All right, Spirit, give me a read here on Chris Brown. Okay. I really want to know here, Spirit, how does Chris Brown feel about his current relationship with Ammikah Harris? Will this relationship grow? Is there marriage in the future for Chris? Or is Chris just planning on doing this bachelor thing until the end of time, guys? Let's see what Spirit says about this. All right. Let's start off with this deck, guys. Just curious. All right. Give us a response here, Spirit. What can we know about Chris right now? What's going on in his life currently? Okay, so I'm pulling up the Three of Wands, guys. And it seems like Chris, as depicted in the photo, we're going to use this to symbolize Chris here. It seems like some of his past he's putting behind him, okay? And he's looking out forward, right? He got his back turned. So everything that's happened to him, he's just focused on having a new direction, moving forward. Um, Basically looking for new opportunities as his life continues to grow and go, move on forward. That's basically what I'm getting from this. He's going to continue to advance as he gets older. He's just focused on himself, focused on growing, and he just doesn't want to be bothered with the things of the past. Okay, let's pull another card, guys. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting the Hermit, guys, in the reverse. And it seems like even though Chris might be out and about and people might see him at these functions and he's social in his personal life, when he's not giving us the Chris Brown that we normally see with as a performer, he's very lonely. He is isolating himself. Um, that could be based on the fact that he's received so much backlash throughout the years for, the obvious situation that happened with him and Rihanna. Um, but there's a part of him where he's also fearful to take that dive with another woman. So even though he's with these women, he's with them, but he's still alone at the same time. It's very hard to describe those particular kind of relationships because you would think that when someone is in an active relationship and they are happy, that life should be perfect. Life should work. Everything should be so connected. But from what Spirit is giving me, he's still alone in these relationships. He still does not have that connection where someone is making him feel like they're there for him. Okay? All right, guys. So I'm getting in the upright the Knight of Cups. I'm sorry, guys. My lights come off. Um, he is a romantic guy. He is charming. So there is a negative part of Chris that we more so hear about, but underneath it all, he is a romantic guy, which might have been why Rihanna throughout the years tried to go back after that bad incident, not once but twice. So he is charming. Um and I get the energy that he does want love. He does want to be in a deep romantic relationship with someone. Um, he wants a woman who aligns with his direction, where he's trying to go. He wants someone that's his equal. He wants a woman who he can share love with, but also share his dreams with. All right, guys. So I'm getting this particular card, guys. I have the Empress in reverse. Now, the energy I'm getting from this particular card is not really Chris, but I'm getting the energy of maybe the woman he's currently with, which is Ammika, if that's how you say her name. Um, it seems like she is a tad bit insecure, and it's kind of understandable, which kind of taps into this card, the Knight of Cups, where I just said that he wants a woman that's his equal. He wants a woman that aligns with him in terms where they're going the same direction. And the reason why he doesn't see that romantic long term um, thing with Ammika is that she is simply insecure, because Ammika gives me the energy that she's the everyday girl. And there's nothing wrong with the everyday girl, because a lot of celebrities and high profile men end up very much so with the everyday woman. But the problem is, when you're the everyday woman, you have to be able to take that lifestyle, deal with it, handle it, and still be on their level and their playing field, so to speak. So even though you are not a celebrity, you have to embody that strength where it's like, I'm a queen, and even though this is my man, make no mistake, I am who I am, and I'm very secure in what I'm doing over here. And unfortunately, it's not giving that energy when it comes to Ammika. There might be things that he likes about her, but unfortunately, she's not able to fill any of his voids. So aside from being that entertainer, he's looking for that woman when he gets off stage who kind of connects with him. And that's where he feels alone, because he doesn't have that connection. But the reason why he can't get that connection from Ammika is that she's still trying to figure out how to fill her own cups. You know what I mean? She's still empty. She doesn't know how to deal with this world, you know? So let me just pull another card, guys. All right. Ooh. I got the 10 of Wands, guys, in the reverse. And inevitably, what I'm getting from this, guys, is that this is not going to last between him and Ammika. It's a lot for Chris to carry. And it's almost like carrying the weight. He's trying to carry this relationship because I get the energy that Chris wants a long lasting relationship. So he doesn't want to fail at this, you know? He behind the scenes, even though he might give that image of being like that playboy and, just the party guy, he actually does want that special person to come home to. He wants that woman that's going to be in his life. And he doesn't want to fail at this. But he's also carrying the weight of this relationship with Ammika. So it's almost like one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm going to pick up all this weight and I'm going to carry it. So if I like flip this card right here, guys, you can see like the man is kind of like pushing forces. He's carrying. It's there's weight, right? He is in a position where it's almost like it's not comfortable, right? He's kind of hunched over, right? So for for Chris, this relationship definitely has its struggles, but he also doesn't really want to fail at it. But at some point, he's going to have to face the facts that it will break down. It's not going to stay strong. Okay? The world and the upright, guys. So, Chris knows who he is right now, guys. Even though at times in the media, people try to portray it like he's a little confused. He doesn't know where he wants to be. And I'll be honest, I could say maybe a couple years ago when I saw a few photos of Chris, he looked like he was very much so struggling with the everydays of life. He did not look in any way as if he had it all pulled together, right? But right now, based on him being an artist, with his music and everything else, he knows who he is. There's no doubt about it. He has, he feels like he's full circle with that. So when it comes to his artistry, his sound, his music, his artistic abilities, going into the studio, he knows who he is. He knows what type of albums he wants to drop, what type of music, how he wants to perform. He has that all down pat. And he's happy with Chris Brown, the artist, right? But it seems like from these cards and this reading, guys, he might not be happy with Chris Brown, the man, not in a fulfilled relationship, okay? So he's happy with Chris Brown, the man in general, but just that part of him he's still struggling with, which is he's a romantic guy. He wants to really be in love, okay? All right, guys. So the Knight of Swords is coming up in reverse. And this energy I'm picking up, and I don't want to bring up Rihanna, but it is giving a bit of Rihanna. It might be Karushi, but I feel more so it's Rihanna. Okay. I think there is times where, I don't think he sits there and thinks about her or has an obsession with her as, Drake has per se. But I believe he is, to a degree, he may feel like he missed out on love opportunities, right? There are women that he's encountered, interacted with, and he now realizes that these were women that he should have taken seriously. These are women that he felt now would have made maybe good wives. But I guess when you're young and you got that playboy effect to you, you don't take a lot of the women seriously that you encounter, right? So this could be everyday women that he came across. This could be celebrity women. But he knows that he missed out on opportunities when it came to love. So right here, guys, I have 9. The 9 of Cups in reverse. And what that gives me, guys, is Ammika and him at some point, it's gonna end. Unfortunately, there's sorrow coming down that pipeline. She might even know it already, and they're just kind of holding on to what inevitably will take place. Just one of those relationships where it's like we're in it for so long, and it's the cycle that just never ends. But we're trying. We're trying to make it work because we got a son. And I don't want to break up another home again where I have my kid and my kid is not seeing mom and dad together. So that's the energy I'm picking up with Chris. It's more so him delaying the inevitable, right? He knows that this situation with his current child's mother is not going to work. He already knows it, but he's really trying. He's really trying, guys. I got the Knight of Wands, guys, in the upright. He he's a passionate guy. Like, I seen a Knight of Cups. He got a lot of passion. He got a lot to basically pour into a woman, but he's not coming across the woman that he wants to pour it into. It's like having that fire burning in you and you can't share that with someone, you know? And that's how Chris kind of feels about this relationship with Ammika. All right, let me pull a couple more cards, guys, and then I'm going to go into my true emotional deck with them. Okay, guys, I got the Page of Cups in reverse, okay? Just like I was just saying to you guys over here with the Nine of Cups in reverse, there's a lot going on with them. Like Ammika is giving a bit of immaturity, a bit of insecurity, but this is going to end. They're just kind of delaying this inevitable. It's like we're just trying to hang on. Or at least Chris knows this is not going to work. Maybe she's completely unaware of it, but Chris knows this is not going to work. So I'm getting the 5 of Pentacles, guys, in the upright. And as you can see depicted in the photo, there's kind of like a woman hunched over, and then there's a cripple. And that this card usually represents more so like finances sometimes when someone is about to lose a large bulk of money. So I think this card has several meanings when it comes to this situation. I definitely feel there will be a struggle when they end up breaking apart. And that might be why Chris is walking this down slowly. Okay. He's kind of afraid to just end this abruptly like he should. And there's a possibility that when he ends up deciding to break ways or break apart from Ammika, she will end up trying to go to court and trying to get as much as she can in child support. She might end up being that bitter baby mama, right? Um, it seems like Chris might end up once again, guys, going into a dark place where he's already quiet right now, but he might just end up disappearing for a while after ending this relationship with her. And of course, this is still going to it gives me her energy of still being insecure. So throughout a lot of my reading, I'm just getting a lot of insecurity from her in general. And, it's almost like if she could fix those components of herself, she might stand a chance in this. But because she's not able to do so right now, Chris doesn't see this long term. Let me pull my last card, guys, here. Wow. Okay. So I'm pulling the High Priestess, okay, in the upright. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't believe this card represents Ammika in any way, but I do believe that there is a woman around Chris right now that he got his eyes on. He's not I'm not getting the energy that he's being disrespectful to Ammika in any way, but he does notice a particular woman. And this woman embodies everything he wants in a woman, right? She is basically his equal. She gives that feminine energy off. She seems to be a smart woman. Um, you know, she might even be holding the place right now as a friend, right? She might be a woman that could be in his work environment. And he could be when he has bad days, he could be going to her and going, you know what? This is what happened. This is what happened. But it doesn't seem I'm not getting the energy that he's inappropriate with her. But he does notice her. And there's a possibility that whenever this ends with Ammika, she will be the woman that he pursues. So I don't see Chris being single, guys, too long after he ends it with Ammika, because there is a high priestess coming up, right? There is a woman. There is a woman. Um, and he knows that this woman is very much so what it is that he's looking for. But unfortunately, this is the sad part about it. Some men end up to a degree, you know, taking women for a ride. And I think that's why sometimes women end up being bitter. So that's why I could honestly see the bitter baby mama thing coming into effect. Because if Ammika is already around him, she more than likely knows who this woman is. And if she does not see this woman and him being inappropriate, she might not see this woman as a threat. But the minute Chris Brown and Ammika separates and Chris decides to pursue her, all hell is going to break loose, guys. That's all I can say about that situation. So hopefully this all works out for Chris somehow. But, if advice can be given, and Chris Brown was watching my video, which he probably will never watch, I would say, you might want to keep working at this for whatever reasons you have internally, but nothing makes a woman more upset, bitter. Nothing makes us see red more so than you inevitably holding on to a situation and wasting our time. Because if you don't see long term with us, but you let time pass, we get more upset than if you had just ended it. And she will probably be very upset when she sees that this woman will be your next woman that you pursue. So, guys, the whole thing where I mentioned the child support and her being bitter, okay, it makes all the sense in the world now that there is a high priestess at the end of this read. So Chris will not be single, guys, after this. Like after Ammika, oh, there's something. There's someone. This woman, I don't know, she knows it, that he likes her. Maybe she's already picking up the energy. But he won't be single. He might have his moment where after his breakup with Ammika, he will go into a little bit of seclusion, kind of a hideout, trying to get his mind together, because I get the energy that he doesn't want to destroy his home, right? So he's more so in it because he seems to love his son a lot. And I don't think he wants to end his relationship because he doesn't want to divide that bond that he has with his son currently. But he also knows at the same time Ammika's not giving him, that fulfillment, right? He's not happy the way he wants to be happy with her. But anyways, guys, that's my reading on Chris Brown and Ammikah Harris. I was gonna tap into the True Emotional deck, but I feel like Spirit has conveyed a lot to me just through these cards, and I don't really see me needing to pull this deck out, only because I don't see much activity that's gonna take place in the next year or two from them. I pretty much feel like, if anything, Chris is gonna keep this going on for a little while before he ends it out of nowhere and washes his hand clean of this situation. But yeah, my advice would be, do it now instead of waiting to do it later on. A scorned woman is a very upset woman, and an angry woman will, I'm just not even gonna go there, but you guys know the story of when women can be scorned. It's really not what any man wants. That smoke, it's a lot. It's a lot. And she, from what I'm seeing in the cards, yeah, she is definitely going to get him on that back end with that coin. She might not be the type right now that's after money, like, and when I say after money, of course, women in general want to be with a successful man, right? So I'm never going to be one of those women that say, don't date a doctor, don't date a surgeon, don't date a man of, wealth, or anyone that's successful, right? Because of course, if a woman wants that, that's an okay thing to want. Just like men have desires to be with the most beautiful woman, right? So her drive might not necessarily just be all money, 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 money hungry thing, right? But when he ends this with her, he's going to see that streak in her where she's going to be upset. It's almost like, after all this love I gave you, you didn't put a ring on it. So guess what? I'm going to hit it where it hurts. I'm coming after your wallet. It's more of a bitter thing for her. Not a gold digging thing for her, but more of a bitter thing for her. And that will be the result of that. All right, guys. So thank you guys once again for stopping by to watch this read on Chris Brown. And I have more readings coming up, guys. So just pay attention, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys want to what you guys want to watch. Is there any recommendations? Is there people that you guys would like to see me do a reading for? All right. So I'm definitely interested in doing readings for what it is that my subscribers, I can't talk right now, for what it is that my subscribers would like to see. So if you guys know any celebrities that you're interested in, or even if it's not a celebrity, maybe it's someone in the sports world, whoever it is, let's do a reading on it, okay? But thank you guys nonetheless for stopping by. And until next time, guys, bye bye.